Grand Rising, Shalom, 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 Shalom to everybody. My name is Sister Gabar Sharaya, also known as Zenobia Agar. I wanted to go live because there's a few things that just kind of getting under my skin. Now, granted, for those of you know, I was viral on TikTok, and because of the things that I speak, TikTok wasn't trying to hear it. They banned me. Um, and I'm now being led to come over to YouTube. So now being over on YouTube, I gotta speak my truth. And in speaking my truth over here on YouTube, my truth is based upon or based around who I am. For so many years, you know, we've been told that if we don't do things a certain way or we don't operate a certain way, that, things wouldn't happen and things wouldn't work out and things of that nature. But I'm very, very clear that with the Most High, all things are possible. But when you take it a step further, when you realize and you understand and understand that you are a etheric being, you are a energy being. You were created with nothing more than energy. When you understand that energy was never born, so energy can never die, you would understand and understand your placement in this realm. And a lot of y'all hear me saying words like overstand, understand, and things of that nature. You probably like, why is she saying that stuff? Because what I've learned is that words are spirit. Words are nothing but containers for energy. Because everything around us is energy, you have to be careful what you speak. We want to run around and we speak all types of stuff all day. We speak in all types of spells and curses over our own life. And then we don't realize when things don't manifest the way that we see fit or the way that we think that they should, we begin to question, well, the Most High must don't want me to have it, or, well, it must not be meant for me to have. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just a matter of what you're speaking. And that's another course that I teach. I teach etymology, watch your mouth, because a lot of you put words together that has no business being together. And if we was to go over some examples, for an example, like good morning. When you think about good morning, greetings, 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 baby. When you think about good morning, when you think about the word morning, first of all, like I said, you got to realize everything around you is energy. Everything is energy. So if energy was never born, energy can never die. So when you realize that words are containers for energy, you have to watch what you speak. But again, the scriptures tell us that life and death lies in the power of the tongue, meaning we have the ability to either speak life or we have the ability to speak death over ourselves. So I think we need to be a little more mindful and cognizant of the words that we utilize. Because again, the words that we utilize normally be the very thing that keep us held back. You heard me? Normally be the very things that keep us shut down. Normally be the very things that keep us from moving forward. Now, granted, I had a few setbacks. I had a few like I said, setbacks, things that tried to stop me. Now I could have did one or two things. I could have either gloated or laid around in my setbacks and talked about, oh, I was setbacks, or the Most High must don't want me to have it, and things ain't working for me, and this, that, the third, fourth, fifth. Or I could continue to speak positive. I can continue to speak life over any dead situation. Remember, we have the authority. Y'all don't realize that what we are in this world that we are living in, this is nothing but a matrix, a simulation. You understand what I'm saying? So when you know that, then you know that if you operate from a certain perspective, you're going to get a certain thing. Remember, everything is energy. Everything is one big magnet. We're in one big magnet, one big energy field. And what we speak, we can pull to us. So we got to be careful what we speak. So I don't know who needed to hear that. And even for those that may not be on the live right now and might listen to this live later on, whoever might need to hear that, you need to really understand and understand that life and death lies in the power of your tongue. It ain't nobody about nobody else speaking life over you. It ain't about nobody else telling you what you gonna become and where you gonna go and how you gonna make it. That is not nobody else's job. It is your job to speak life over your life in this present or current situation. And that's what brings me to religion, and religion being totally different from spirituality. Again, I've been a spiritual person for a long time, and I've sat amongst some of the best of them. And just being amongst some of what you would consider leaders and watching how they operate, one of the key things that I've learned when it pertains to religion is I don't want no parts of it. And you can say what you want to say to me, but I don't want no parts of it. And to be quite honest, 11 years ago, I didn't want no parts of it. You heard me. So if I didn't want no parts of it 11 years ago, what makes you think I want parts of it now? So again, as you grow and you learn and you listen to the Spirit of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High will lead you and guide you into all truth and righteousness. But sometimes we allow fear to be a factor. We get in these religious organizations or we get in these jobs because, again, it ain't all about religious organizations because some of you are a slave to your job. Some of you are a slave to your job. Some of you are a slave to the way that you look. You are a slave to the way to the things that you do. So all of these things can be come in the compartment of being religious or having religious behavior. And I don't want no parts of it. When you are a free thinker and you operate freely, normally you run from religion. You normally run from religion. So, nevertheless, I just wanted to say to somebody, don't ever let fear be a factor. Okay? The Most High did not give us the spirit of fear. The Most High gave us the spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. If you haven't told yourself and convinced yourself that you are created of love, power, and a sound mind, you're going to operate in fear. You're going to come across situations. Your job going to tell you, if you don't do it like this, we're going to fire you. And if you don't do it like that, this is what's going to happen. And some might say, well, would you just don't like rules and regulations? I do. I don't mind a rule or two. I know that if I don't stop at the stop sign, then 9 times out of 10 I could cause a collision. I know that if I don't stop at the traffic light, what could possibly take place? I know that if I eat part of the pig, what it potentially will do to my body. I know that if I become intimate while I'm unclean, for a better lack of words, that I can continue to make everything unclean. So there are certain things I know that we need to operate under. But then there's other things that we need to run far away from. Let me explain something to somebody. The Most High is not going to love you any less because you're not a part of an organization. I'm going to say that again because that went over somebody's head. The Most High is not going to love you any less because you're not a part of an organization. We get a part of these organizations and we get stuck. We get tricked. We get befooled. All of this stuff goes on right in the midst of these organizations. And the saddest part about it is a lot of us just be genuinely looking for the Lord. A lot of us just be genuinely looking for the Most High. We don't go in these organizations to get caught up with the leadership and things of that nature. We be genuinely searching and seeking for the Most High. But then we get in these organizations and then fear becomes a factor. I don't understand how fear becomes a factor because if the Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear, why are all these religious organizations teaching you to fear? Come on now, somebody. Why? Why are you being taught to fear? Why are you being told that if you're not in a particular organization or if you're not doing things a certain way that you're going to go to hell? Why? Why is that being taught? Why isn't it being taught inside of these religious organizations who you are and how your body is created and how you are an etheric being and how you have 108 different chakras in your body, which are pressure points? Why? Why isn't this teach or why is it this taught in these religious organizations? Why isn't it taught how to maintain yourself and how to be mindful? Why isn't it taught? It's not being taught. You know it makes it so sad. I've been a part of religious organizations for 30 years of my life, and I'm hitting 50. And I've been a part of religious organizations for almost 30 of those years. And now I sit back and I think about how much time was invested, how much time was invested, how much time was lost, how much time I will never ever get back. I'm gonna ask you guys if you are able to share the live, share the live if you're able to share the live. But it really, really bothers me. But at the same time, I must say that I learned something in each establishment. I learned some things. I learned what to do and I learned what not to do. And what bothers me about these religious organizations, a lot of these places be proper lying. A lot of these people be lying on the spirit of the Most High. A lot of these people be lying on the Most High, talking about the Most High told them and the Most High said and the Most High did. All of that shit is trickery. All of that shit is buffoonery. And you need to run far away from it. Do you need to have some forms of connections with the spirit of the Most High? Absolutely. Absolutely. You need to have some relationships and some um, spiritual connections with the Spirit of the Most High. Yes, you do. But you also need to understand that the Spirit of the Most High did not put you here for you not to tap into who you are. Some of you don't even know who you are. You're 40 and 50 years old and 30 and 60 years old, and you have no clue what your purpose is. So what you're doing is doing a little bit of this and doing a little bit of that to try to find out what works. And then when it don't work, you move to the next thing. That's not operating in purpose. That's not operating in your purpose. When you know your purpose, when you really know your purpose, you're not going to let no demons in hell stop you from moving forward. Not no job, not no spouse, not no house, not no religious organization. You're not going to let nothing or nobody stop you from operating in your purpose. I can stand and say 10 toes down that I know my purpose. But I can also stand and say that over the last 10 years, 12 years, no, I'm sorry, last 20, 25 years, that my gifts and my talents were sat upon. My gifts and my talents were stomped on. My gifts and my talents was not allowed to be utilized in these particular organizations the way that the Most High sees fit. I've been placed here to help the masses. I've been put in this earth realm to help the masses understand who they are, how they should be operating. First things first, if you don't realize that your body, your spirit, and your soul needs to be in alignment, you have already lost the battle. These organizations ain't teaching that. These organizations ain't teaching you how to eat to live. These organizations ain't telling you how to stay away from poisons and toxins and red dot 40s and yellow dot 40s and all these type of things. These organizations ain't talking about that type of stuff. You want to know why? Because it ain't charismatic enough. It don't sound good enough. It ain't going to hold the people's attention enough. All people look for is dogma and hoopla. Dogma and hoopla. All of us are charismatic in our own way, but charisma is not the way to the Most High. And you got to be mindful and you got to be careful because you'll look around and you've invested 20 and 30 years on jobs and on in businesses that didn't bring you to the place that you needed to be. Let me just say this also, all money ain't good money. So just because you want a job and you making money don't mean it's good money. That's why you exhausted. You feel you don't have time for this and you don't have energy for that and you don't have energy to really cook and you don't have time to really do this and you don't have because you are a slave master to your job. And people don't want to hear that. A lot of people, well, I gotta work. Yeah, what are your gifts and talents? Work on those. They don't bring you your money. The scriptures tell you clearly that our gift would make room for us and bring us before good men. So your gifts will make room for you. If you know you talented and you gifted, this is where your focus need to be. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. I know you don't think. I know you've been driving a bus for 15 years, and this is just what you think you're supposed to be doing. This is not all of you. I know you've been cooking and you've been a cook in culinary for the last 16, 17 years, but that don't mean it's for you. I know you've settled with a warehouse position and you're making $15 and $16 an hour. Necessarily, that's not for you. What I'm saying is this, y'all. Because we are etheric beings, because we are made up of energy, we have the authority. And I know a lot of you religious people you ain't gonna like this, and you ain't gonna be able to roll with this. But we have the authority to speak those things as though they are not, as though they already are. You have the authority to command, to decree, what it is that you want. Why? Because this is a simulation. Because it's a matrix. That's why. But we get caught up, y'all. They getting us caught up, especially in religion. Religion is a big, big deal, man. Religion is a big, big deal. And I would advise you to run far from it. Run far from it. I had started a live the other day, my other live on here, just going into a little bit of my story when it pertains to religion. Just trying to give you guys a little bit of backdrop or a little bit of history of why I can't stand religion. Just being a part of all of these man made rules, man made doctrines, man made creeds. All of this shit is man made, and that is not a curse word, that's profanity. There's a difference. So you mean to tell me I can't love the Most High and I can't worship the Most High unless I'm a part of your organization? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? Is that how you're telling me that this works? And there's so many people. I see sisters, so many sisters. I know so many sisters who've been beguiled. I know so many sisters who think their only job is to have children. You got some sisters got 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 children and really don't have means of taking care of them. Never really got into a profession. Why? Because they are part of this organization. Never really got into what they were supposed to be doing and how they were supposed to be doing it. Message, you better understand and understand what you're doing is wasting time. That's what you're doing. You're wasting time. So again, this live is not just for those of you that are on the live, but this live is for those that may come across this live. Because there's a lot of people out here that's spinning their wheel. You like a dog chasing your tail. You ain't doing nothing but going in circles. You going in circles and you trying to figure out why. I can't stand religion. Religious people are so quick to send everybody to hell. Soon as somebody do something, oh, you going to hell. Oh, you going off. Oh, you got the devil in you. No, how about like I told my husband this is Grand Rising? Everything ain't the devil, and everything ain't the Most High. Y'all blame stuff on the Most High that ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. Y'all blame stuff on the devil that he ain't had a damn thing to do with. Y'all don't realize that the only thing that has not been taken from us is our freedom to choose. So you have the freedom to choose. And when you make a decision or you make a choice to go right or either to go left, that's the decision that you've chosen. That has nothing to do with God. Some of you gotten in marriages or you've gotten in relationships and you want to put God in it. Oh, God did it, and God, no, you made that decision. You chose him. You chose her. Everything ain't the Most High, y'all. Message. Somebody needed to hear that because you think everything is the Most High. Yeah, oh, the Most High did it. Everything that's good is the Most High, is what you've been taught, and everything bad is the devil. That's what we've been taught. Everything good is the Most High, and everything bad is the devil. Come on now, y'all. So that means that the stuff that you choose, the decisions that you choose, and what you decided to do has nothing to do with the choice that you made. Come on now, get up out of here with that buffoonery. That's buffoonery. That's buffoonery. I sat up under religious organizations by my choice. I will not sit here and say, "Oh, the Most High sent me into those religious organizations." No, I made a decision and I went into those organizations. That's what happened. And even after getting into these different organizations and seeing things play out the way that they play out, and still deciding to abide was also my choice. So we got to stop that, y'all. We got to cut that out. We got freedom to make decisions here in this matrix, man. You got freedom to make decisions here in this matrix. And some pastors or bishops or priests, they're not going to teach you that. You got to remember, a lot of this stuff that they teaching, a lot of the ways that they teaching, it's not necessarily the fact that people are not teaching the Bible. It's the fact that people are trying to prostitute God. People are prostituting the Most High. Excuse me. People are trying to prostitute the Most High. When stuff going bad in their life, now they looking for Jesus. Stuff raw. raw in your life and stuff going on in your life, the first thing you, oh Lord, oh God, but you ain't dealt with the Most High all year. So it's that type of stuff. That's a form of prostitution, to use somebody only when you need it. So we gotta be mindful, and that's key, and that's foremost. You've got to be mindful. Take some responsibility. Take some responsibility. Take some responsibility. Like I said, I know sisters right now. I know brothers right now too, who because they was in organizations and they was told that they can have 2 and 3 wives. They got 2 and 3 wives, 15 and 16 children, and ain't taking care of none of them because it was allowed. As a human, as a human race is what I was going to say. As a human race, we have a tendency of only running towards things that make us feel comfortable. I'm gonna say that again because that went over somebody's ear. As the human race, we have the ability of only running after something because it feels good or it makes us feel comfortable. But what about those things that make you feel uncomfortable? What about those things that make you feel stagnated or stuck? I'm bouncing around a little bit, but the goal is to tell you to run far away from religion, man. I don't give a damn what nobody says. There's nothing that can separate you from the love of the Most High. Don't let nothing separate you from the love of the Most High. Nothing can separate you from the love of the Most High. If you genuine and your heart is in the right place and you are genuine upset, I'm not saying that you don't have no works. I ain't saying that you good talk. Oh, all I got to do is be good. That's not what I'm saying. Because a lot of you good, but you running around eating a whole bunch of stuff you shouldn't be eating because your body can't digest it. You running around eating all types of shellfish. Your body can't digest that. Your body can't digest that. And instead of people teaching you shouldn't eat this stuff because of what it does to your body, it's being taught that if you eat it, you're going to hell. What about what it's going to do to my body while I'm still here on earth? What about how it's going to break me down by me still being here on earth? What about that part? So again, y'all, we gotta be mindful. Listen, the Most High created us wonderfully and fearfully. You heard me. The Most High created us wonderfully and fearfully. I know a lot of you think you need a mediator to get you to Christ. I mean, to get you to the Most High. But the message is Christ is the mediator to get you to the Most High, not a physical man here on earth. Christ is the mediator. I know some of you want to rumble for that one, don't you? Christ is the mediator. Christ is the mediator, not man. When you know that and you realize that, and you listen, y'all. There's over 4,000 different religions. So, are you telling me, or you want me to believe that the Most High created 4,000 religions and then told you pick one? And when you pick one, you better pick the right one, or you're going to hell. Is that what you're telling me? This is the type of this is what we're serving. This is the Most High, the Creator. This is how it's getting down. No, that's not. That's man. That's man. Man does that. Man does that. Man does that. Man takes their charisma and they, if you don't do it this way, this is what's gonna happen. And if you don't do it that way, you know that each religion say the same thing. What? What's Gabar Shariah? Each religion tells you that if you don't do it this way, you're going other than atheism. If you don't do it this way, God is going to be angry. The devil is a liar. Now, am I saying that there's certain things that we're supposed to do? Absolutely. You got laws of the land, you got laws of the scriptures. Absolutely. There are things that we are supposed to do, but the way that people prosecute the laws of the scripture is the same way that the government prosecutes the laws of the land. All y'all out here prophet lying on the Most High. talking about the Most High told you you was going to do this, and the Most High told you you was going to do that. I talked a little bit about Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter, the 18th chapter, verse 20 and verse 23. That if a prophet, if a true prophet or prophetess message, we are prophetess. There are prophetess out here. Because all of these religions look down on women. Women can't teach, and women can't prophesy, and women ain't doing none of these things. The devil is a liar. Do y'all not realize that if it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be no y'all? Yes, we know that the man is a seed carrier, and we know that the man, we need the seed of the man in order to fertilize the egg. We get that, but we have to do the carrying. We have to do the nurturing. We have to do all of that. We have to do that. So we have a major role. We have a major role. And that's what I don't want y'all to get caught up on. Because all of these organizations are telling you the women are to be quiet. You are to be seen and not heard. That is trickery in its finest. Yes, yes, I honor my husband. Yes, yes, I honor my husband. I do right by my husband. Yes, I'm not going to commit adultery on my husband. I'm not, no, I honor my husband. But there's my husband know that when I say certain things, he know, okay, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go with what she's saying. That don't take nothing away from his manhood, sisters. You need to know that. That don't take nothing away from your husband's manhood. But you got a lot of these sisters stuck in these religious ass beliefs, and you can't look to the left and you can't look to the right, or you going off. Don't fall for it. Don't fall. Let me tell you something. I am the most freest I've ever been. And for those of you who don't know, just give you a little bit of history. You may be wondering where Gabar Shariah came from. Gabar Shariah is my Hebrew name. Hebrew is our original language, but Gabar Shariah is my Hebrew name. Um, I am a ex former elect lady um, of the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. I'm an elect lady, and I chose my Hebrew name, which means warrior princess. And I am a warrior, and I am a princess. Um, and actually, my name is Zenobia, which also means warrior prince. He was a warrior princess, but nevertheless, just so you'll know, um, I did leave the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. Um, I left in 2020 actually. I was there from 2012 to 2020, and I'm not going to sit here and bad mouth and bash and belittle and talk about because I do have fear for the Most High. I'm real clear about the laws of the land. So what I so I'm gonna have to read back. So I'm real careful. But the level of control, not just this organization, all of them. I am banned off of TikTok. I am permanently banned. How are you? I am. And thank you for joining my live. Thank you for joining me over here on YouTube. Thank you all for joining me here over here on YouTube. But I'm not gonna ban and bash and belittle. But prior to meeting my husband, I expressed to my husband very strongly that I didn't want no part of religion. I was coming out of a religious sect, being a Pentecostal. I was a Pentecostal for um, 20 years. And I was an ordained evangelist, and I was doing some things. And as a matter of fact, when I came into the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, they had found a picture of me on Facebook. And this is one of the first reprimanding times that I experienced, but they had found a picture of me coming from uh, St. Martin, the church that I was in, and I had my minister's garb on. I had my garb on. So I had the robe on, and I had the collar on. We were at a function, and one of the chief priests or the bishops or somebody came across it on Facebook. Facebook, and I was instructed to take it down. I was instructed to take it down. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to retrieve that picture, but I was instructed to take it down, and I did. But at the same time, the level of control for me in all of these religious organizations is what I'm running from. I'm running far away from that shit because that's exactly what it is. It's bullshit, and I don't want no part of it. I don't want no part of the man-made rules. I don't want no part of the man-made regulations. Does this mean I've left Christ? Absolutely not. Does this mean that I am an antichrist, or does this mean that I'm wicked? It absolutely does not. Am I going to hell because I'm no longer in either of these organizations? I'm absolutely not. Do you hear what I said? Don't let man control you. And like I said, I made a cognitive decision to go in, and I made a cognitive decision. And trust me, all I was looking for was the Most High. I was looking for the Most High. I learned a lot. Don't get it twisted when it pertains to really other scriptures that I didn't know that was in there, and I was already gun ho about the scriptures, but learning other scriptures that I didn't know was in there. And again, like I said, I'm not going to speak ill. I'm not going to speak bad. It's just a level of control for me that and I was always getting in trouble. I was always getting in trouble. I'm a grown ass woman. You're not gonna keep pulling me up, talking about I can't say this and I can't say that. As a matter of fact, if I was still in the organization, I would not be able to be on YouTube. I would have never been able to get viral on TikTok. I would have never been able to help thousands of people. In the last 2 years, I've helped thousands of people, whether it was with my herb, because I am an herbalist. Let it be known, I am an herbalist. Been an herbalist for over 30 years, but I couldn't bring that into the church. I wouldn't have been able to help all of the sisters that I was able to help. You know how many women and men that the Most High has allowed me to help over the last 2 years? And I would have never been able to do it. I would have never been able to do it. But again, knowing my assignment, trusting my assignment, trusting the process. But I want y'all to know that we make choices. We make choices. You don't have, it's because of your choices. You overly have, it's because of your choices. We are the one that control what's going on with us in this matrix. And I know you don't want to believe that because you've been dealing with what you've been dealing with for so long, but you have the ability and the authority to control your spot in this matrix. You have the ability to control your spot in this matrix. You can either be a sucker and fold your tail, or you can stand up and fight. You can stand up and fight. Fight for your rights, fight for your peace, fight for your joy, fight for your love, fight for your happiness, your contentment. Fight. Y'all don't realize that the scriptures tell us clearly that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. We're not dealing with man. We're not dealing with man. We're dealing with demons. And when you realize that this is what we're dealing with, we're dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places. Demonic activities. Y'all used to hear me talk about it all the time on TikTok. The draconians and the shapeshifters and stuff like that. You're not being taught about what's in this hemisphere in these religious organizations. You're not being taught that it's demons walking around you, all around you. You're not being taught that you gotta gird up and put the whole armor on. And even if you are being taught that, you're not being taught of what you really fighting and what you really up against. You're not being taught. Let me tell you something. Some of you religious people are so in order that you out of order. I'm gonna say that again. Some of you religious people in these religious organizations, you are in so much order that that shit makes you out of order. Out of order. You don't know who you are. You don't know if you coming or going. You have not a clue. Why? Because you ain't being taught to have a clue. It's not important to know who you are. It's not important to know that you got seven main chakras that are considered energy portals, and this is how you transmit and transmute energy. You don't. That's not important to teach. It's not important to teach about your pineal gland and how important it is. Why do you think the Most High gave us a pineal gland? So that we can get the downloads that we really supposed to get. No, a lot of you want to run to a bunch of books and a bunch of stuff like that and talking about you getting downloads. Your downloads is going to come from internal. Your downloads are going to come from inside because the scriptures tell us that if you are led and guided by the Spirit, you will then obtain truth, all truth, and righteousness. But you got to be led by your Spirit. Not by how you feel, because a lot of y'all be led by how you feel. You feel good today. This feel good today, so you going to go with it. What if today is good, but you feeling something bad? I know that went over top of somebody's head. It's going to go over top of your head. You got to learn your position in this matrix. You sitting back waiting for somebody to teach you your position in this matrix. You sitting back waiting for somebody to teach you what to do in this simulation. You sitting back waiting for somebody to tell you what to do and to lead you into what to do in this simulation. You missing the greatest time of your life. You missing the greatest time of your life. You have not a clue with who you are. And what bothers me the most is half of you or majority of you are not even looking for a clue. It don't matter. All you know is you got to go to work. That's all you know. There is so much more to it. Some of you not even walking in your purpose because you don't have a clue of what your purpose is. You have not a clue. Part of my purpose is to have conversations like this to the masses. It's time for us to man up, man, and really take responsibility because guess what? When you go before the Most High, when it's all said and done and you get before the Most High, you're not going to be able to say, oh, what my church said this, or what my priest said that, or what my bishop said this, or my pastor said that, or my monk said this, or my what they call, my nun said that, or you're not going to be able to say none of that. You're not going to be able to say none of that. And that's going to pertain to every part of your life. You ain't going to be able to be like, oh, well, my job didn't. It was because of my job. Nah. Nah. And a lot of us have been beguiled. A lot of us has been befooled. I was one beguiled for almost 30 years of my damn life. Because that's how it felt being in these positions. Damned. The time of my life in right now that I'm in, I've never experienced some of the things that I've experienced in this part of my life. I raised my children. I raised all five of my children for the most part by myself to the best of my ability. I was a single parent for the majority of their life. I'm an only child, so it ain't like I had a bunch of siblings. My mother was strung out on drugs. My father was dead or gone on, gone over. He ain't no longer wasn't no longer on this side since I was 12. So I had to figure this shit out. And when you trying to figure this shit out, you looking for people, places, and things that you can relate to help you figure it out. But the main people, place, and thing that we forget that we not looking at is inside of us. We looking everywhere else. We looking outside of us. We looking at the church. We looking at our spouses. We looking at our jobs. We looking at our careers. We looking at everything else, and we not looking inside of us. That's why we don't know who we are. That's why we don't know what make us tick. That's why we don't know what make us angry. A lot of y'all be like, well, so people don't take depression and stuff like that seriously. I'm not discrediting the fact that people get depressed. I ain't discrediting the fact that people have bipolar. I ain't discrediting the fact that people have anxiety and people have schizophrenia. I'm not going after that. But the only reason those issues came about because there were situations going on that was never addressed, and they turned into those things. You understand what I'm saying? So when you got a bunch of situations that you don't address, you think you can just put them back in your subconscious like the fuck they did not happen? No, you got to go after you. You got to know what makes you angry. Know what makes you tick. Know what get on your nerves. No, you got to know thyself. Know thyself. And the reason why we can't know ourselves, why? Because we put all the energy and time into trying to know somebody else or something else outside of us. 30 years of my life, 30, trying to figure out who I am, knowing partially who I am, but being stomped on by people, being walked on by people, not allowing me to walk in my gifts, not allowing me to walk in my talents. Why would the Most High give me gifts and talents if I'm not supposed to use them? Why would the Most High gifted me with all these gifts and gave me all these talents and now tell me you better not use them? I don't believe that. My spirit don't bear witness with that. And like I said, you're not being taught who you are. You're not being taught that. You ain't being taught that. Your organization ain't teaching you how to take care of your family. Your organization ain't teaching you how to really, really be a sincere wife or really, really how to be a sincere husband. Your organization ain't teaching you that if something happens, you ain't supposed to run. You're supposed to address it and deal with it. You ain't being taught that. You're not being taught that because this is the stuff they don't want to go after. Why? Because when they go after this, so when they have you going after this type of stuff, this then makes you self-sufficient. Oh, no, you can't become self-sufficient. No, 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 no. You got to always be dependent upon somebody. You always got to be dependent upon somebody else's word. You always need a word from this one to get you going and a word from that one to get you going. Like, no, la ah. Like, no, no. And I be feeling bad, man. Like I said, I be coming across sisters, and I know sisters who don't have a clue of who they are because they not allowed to go that far. They not allowed to look that far. I know brothers that don't have a clue with who they are because they not allowed to look that far. They not allowed to go that far. Don't have a clue. But the part y'all missing is that's the part you're going to be judged for. Because when you ultimately get back before the Creator, you're going to be judged for what you did with your time. You're going to be judged for what you did with your money. You're going to be judged for what you did with your children, your energy. That stuff going to come back up. I don't know who needs to hear this on this live, but it's going to come back up. You ain't being taught that, though. Nope. You being taught all you got to do is pray about it. The devil is a liar. That ain't the only thing you need to do is pray about it. You got to make something happen. Why? Because faith without works is dead. Faith is, you can talk a good game all day. I know a lot of charismatic ass speakers know how to talk and can talk your ass under the table, but ain't doing shit. Why? Because they haven't been taught. They don't have a clue. Like I said, I know brothers that got 10, 12 children, 2 and 3 different wives, and ain't taking care of none of them. And you telling me you dealing with the Most High. Okay. All right, well, you keep convincing yourself. You got sisters who ain't never had a job in their life because they've been told that they got to depend upon their husband only. Now, when they ready to leave, or God forbid the husband die or something like that, now they don't know how to do nothing because they was dependent upon somebody else all these years. Like, no, I'm sorry, I don't believe that that's the Most High, and I don't believe that this is how I work in this matrix. I believe that we are energy beings, etheric beings, and that we're supposed to operate from an energetic perspective. I believe that we have the authority to speak those things that are not as though they are. I believe we have the authority to lay hands on the sick and they recover. I believe we have the authority. No, I did not make a new TikTok, baby, and I'm not making another TikTok. That's why y'all over here with me on YouTube. I am not making another TikTok. You might find some people that tried to mock my TikTok, but no, I'm not making another TikTok. Making another TikTok means you got to make another email and all of that. That's insanity. I'm not going to keep doing the same shit and expecting a different result. TikTok ain't fooling with me like that. And I already reached the people that I was supposed to reach on TikTok. I already reached the community that I was supposed to reach on TikTok. Now it's a YouTube community that I'm supposed to reach. It's a YouTube community that I'm supposed to reach. And granted, I gotta use this young ass earphone right now. I gotta use these young ass earphones, but I'm gonna get me another device. I'm gonna get me another device, and I'm gonna be able to work it out for y'all. And my content on YouTube gonna be totally different from my content on my phone keep falling. Yeah, it's gonna be totally different. I ain't even realize I can look at y'all I ain't even realize I can look at y'all remarks. I mean y'all comments. I ain't even know that. I'm new to the whole YouTube piece. So, y'all bear with me. But nevertheless, it is what it is. A few of you that's on the YouTube, I appreciate it. No, I'm not on Instagram. I was put off of Instagram some time ago. I was put off of Facebook some time ago. I understand and understand that a lot of the things I talk about, a lot of people don't like. You start talking to people about people's family situations. People ain't trying to hear that. No, I'm not on TikTok no more, Alexandria. I'm not on TikTok no more. And like I said, I'm not making another page on TikTok either. Y'all can always subscribe here, hit the notification so that when I go live, you can jump over here and jump on the live. I'm going to build this live. I'm going to build this platform just like I built the TikTok platform. Just like I was live, I was viral on Instagram when I was on Instagram. I was viral on Facebook when I was on Facebook. And for some reason, it ain't for some reason. I know the reason. Listen, you got to know, like I told you guys, we are wrestling not against flesh and blood, man. We dealing with principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places, man. We dealing with demonic activity. Period. Period. That's why when somebody frustrates you or get on your nerves or make you mad, don't look at them. Look at the demon or the spirit that's coming through them. Don't look at them. This is why you got people that's in relationships right now that can't maintain a relationship. Y'all don't think my husband get on my goddamn nerves? Y'all don't think I get on my husband's nerves? I get on my husband's nerves and he gets on mine. But again, I can't run. And I was thinking about running a couple years ago. Running. Run, Forrest, run. No, I can't run. I can't run. I'm in it for the long haul. For good for sickness and for health and death do us part. And sometimes that shit hurt. But guess what I learned, y'all? Let me tell you what I learned. And this is what's important. And this is shadow work. You don't look at the other person, right? Somebody could be going through some changes, going through some changes, acting all crazy or whatever, saying all types of crazy stuff. Don't look at that person, right? Look at yourself and look at how you can respond to it. You missed that. Because the way we respond is what will get us our outcome. Sometimes I fail my test, sometimes I pass. For the most part, I've been passing. You caught me 5 years ago, I was failing all day, every day. But right now, I'm passing a few tests. But my husband could say something that I don't like, right? He could say something that I don't like. Now I got to internalize what I'm getting ready to say. Because whatever I'm going to say is going to determine the outcome. Y'all ain't ready for that. You ain't ready for that. So I got to now check myself to see if what he said made me mad, or is it something about myself that when he said what he said made me mad? Listen, well, a lot of times we don't want to check ourselves. We don't want to look at ourselves. But remember, every time you pointing one finger at somebody else, you got 3 other fingers pointing back at you. See, if we go and we look at ourselves for our wrongdoing and our shortcomings, like the fact that we can make choices, we look at that, we will save a lot of heartache and pain for our own damn selves. We be making all types of choices and try to blame that shit on other people. I ain't blaming none of my shortcomings and none of my downfalls on my husband. For an example, well, I'm going to save that example. I'm not going to blame none of my shortcomings on my husband. My shortcomings is my shortcomings. They were my shortcomings. They wasn't his. And a lot of you out there be like, oh, well, he made me do it. Well, he said this to me or she said that to me and that's what made me do it. No, no, no. Because if somebody had that level of authority and that level of power over you, that they can say something to change your whole outlook and to change your whole demeanor, man, you need to check yourself. And I said what I said. You need to check yourself. This is what you call real shadow work, y'all. And a lot of people don't want to do it. A lot of people don't want to check themselves. A lot of people want you to take want to take want somebody else to be the blame of their fuck up. You fucked up. That ain't my fault. I don't care what I said. What I said should not have made you fuck up. What I said or what I did should not have been the reason that you start going off. Oh, well, you was doing this, and that's why I did that. That's bullshit, man. That's what you call copping the deuce. That's what you call not wanting to take responsibility for your own actions. No, you did what you did because that's what you wanted to do. Period. You did what you did because that's what you wanted to do. It wasn't because of her. It wasn't because of him. It wasn't because of that. You did what you did because that's what you wanted to do. You said what you said because that's what you wanted to say. You can't blame that on somebody else. So I think the quicker we start taking responsibility, y'all, for our actions, for our thoughts, for our deeds, I think the better off we will become. When you realize that you're not beefing and arguing with an individual, but you're dealing with demonic activity, you will deal with it from a different perspective. But how can Satan cast out Satan? If you got the devil in you, if my husband got the devil in him and I got the devil in me, how either one of us gonna cast out each other? Because we both got the devil in us. It's about taking responsibility. And it sickens me on my stomach because people don't like to take responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions. I run around looking forward to taking responsibility for my actions. I don't care where I went wrong. I'm trying to figure out where I went wrong so I can fix it. And if I did something wrong and you ain't told me I did something wrong and I don't know or I'm unaware that I did something wrong, it's impossible for me to take responsibility for those actions if I don't know I did nothing wrong. But the problem is we be so quick to blame somebody else for why we have bad days. You have bad days because you want to have bad days. You want to blame somebody else for why your money acting funny. Your money acting funny because you acting funny, because you ain't doing what you need to do. So your money acting funny. You want to blame somebody because of what's going on with your husband or what's going on with your wife. A lot of us don't realize, man, we curse ourselves, man. Our very actions and along with some of the verbiage that we speak out of our mouth have the ability to curse us. I'm going to say this about my mother, and I love my mother dearly, and she's sleeping in peace right now, but I was my mother's only child. And my mother didn't take care of me. My mother did not do right by me. Having one child, she ain't do right by me. And my father didn't do right by me because he stayed in prison. He had one child. And then he had another one. So he ended up having two. He stayed in prison, so he wasn't doing right by me being in prison. My mother was strung out on doing her thing. She didn't do right by me. And y'all, if I can be so honest, they suffered, y'all. Both of my parents suffered, y'all. My father died at 27. Did you hear me when I said? Because he chose to be in the street versus take care of his child. My mother suffered. Heroin addict suffered because she put me on the back burner. She decided to let my aunt take on the responsibility and my grandmother take on the responsibility of raising me versus her struggling and trying to raise me. And she suffered. And that was a promise that I made to myself once I started having children. I'm going to do everything in my power. So, again, we got to be mindful of what we sowing because what you sowing, you going to also reap. What you sow, you going to reap. The way you treat people, that's important. That's important. You got to be careful how you entertain people because you could be entertaining an angel unaware. So how you treat people is important. Although my mother was strung out on drugs, I respected her. I looked out for her. I took care of her because I didn't want my days to be short. And now I'm almost my mother's age. That my mother, the age she would have been, made it past my father's age. And we look at this stuff like, it's not a big deal. It's not that important. And it's so important that how we deal and how we operate, how we internalize, that stuff is important. It's a very big deal because you could have a situation going on, and the way that you internalize that situation could either benefit you or it could mess you up. It's the way you internalize. And I said all that to say the reason why we internalize the way that we internalize is the majority of it has a lot to do with religion, our religious behavior, the things that we were taught religiously. Has everything to do with the way that we internalize stuff. Has everything to do with the way that we look at stuff. And some of you might be like, well, I wasn't brought up in the church. You ain't had to be brought up in the church. Somebody could have taught you other religious behavior patterns. Well, you got to go punch a clock because if you don't go punch a clock and blah, 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 nobody taught you to be an entrepreneur. Nobody taught you to be creative within your own self. Nobody taught me. Let me speak for myself because the religious organizations that I was a part of did. One organization taught me, yeah, you need to go to school, you need to work, you need to be successful, and taught me a little bit meditation and how important meditation was. But then they had all types of abominations being done right in the midst of the church. Another organization told me how to bring some order to my life and told me how to, do it this way and don't look left and don't look right, but stay focused, get tunnel vision, stay focused, and and all types of hell going on. And I'm going to say this, and I say it 10 toes down. I don't give a damn who you are. If you prosecute the word of the Most High, lying, proper lying, talking about God told you this, God told you that, and you wasn't instructed to do that, you're going to die. Some of you might say, well, I don't believe in the Most High anyway. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in it. Okay, laws of the universe still out here. I just, you know, I feel like I'm being put on a mission to go back and rescue some of my sisters out of some of these organizations. But people be so stuck. And when you see me in the state of gratitude, how the Most High did not let me get contaminated by these feelings. Although I was in one for 30 years and one for 10 years or so, I didn't have the opportunity to become mentally, spiritually. In other words, when my spirit said that was it, that was it. When my spirit said enough is enough is. So I come on, and I know sometimes it might seem like I be babbling and going on and on different subjects and different topics and things of that nature. I just go off of what I'm hearing in my spirit, yo. And we gotta get our mind right. We gotta know who we are. We are the real superheroes. We are full of power. We are full of authority. The Most High created us that way, yo. We are electromagnetic beings, yo. We are. We have six electrons, six neutrons, six protons operating in our bodies. We have a circulatory system. We have an endocrine system. We got all of these systems. We got a skeletal system. We got all of these systems within systems in our body. We got veins and circuits, and this is like a hard drive. And what's sad is majority of people, about 97% of people, only use 7% of one side of their brain. 7% of people say to me all the time, "What books you read? What type of books can you?" I don't read no bunch of books. I told y'all the Bible was my base, and that's because I know how to eat the meat and spit out the bones. I told y'all I'm led and guided by my spirit. If you tell me something, and I don't care if you say God, the Most High said it, I don't care. If my spirit ain't bearing witness with it, I'm going to denounce it. If my spirit, why, how you just going, because my spirit ain't failed me yet. Yes, I ignored some things. Yeah, I stayed a part of some things by my choice. Remember, we was just talking about choice. I chose to ignore my spirit in certain areas. I chose to as was coming up and as I was learning in this spiritual journey. Because I tell you, I am not a religious being. I am a spiritual being having an earthly experience. It is important for me to know who I am spiritually. It is important for me to know how in tune I am. It is important for me to know that I have the authority and the ability to lay hands on the sick and they can recover. It's important for me to know and embrace the fact that I'm a Reiki master. It's important for me to embrace the fact that I'm telepathic. This stuff ain't being taught in these organizations. It is important for me to know that I'm clairvoyant and I can hear and I can foresee. That's important for me. It's important for me. And it may not be important for everyone. Some of you are so gifted, you are so talented, but you can't look nowhere else. You are being instructed and taught that you can't look nowhere else. Back in the day when I was coming up, we had all types of mentors, we had all types of programs. Ain't no mentorship. And these days, the ones that are mentoring is lying, trying to get what they can get. But you got to be wicked as hell to play with the Most High, misuse the people money, hurt the people's spirit, and think you're not gonna pay the price. You either dumb, stupid, or you are not going to continue to prophesy in the name of the Most High. You're going to be seeing death like never before. And I told you guys on one of my last TikTok videos, you're going to see a lot of people being sacrificed. Go do your homework of how many been sacrificed in January so far. I ain't gotta sit here and make up nothing. I tell you one thing for sure and two things for certain. Whoever you are, if you running around lying on the Most High, messing up people's lives, destroying people's lives, you're going to die. You're going to die. And it's not a holy. Because remember, all souls belong to the Most High. Now here you coming along and you talking about you preaching and preaching. That's another thing I don't understand. Why do I have to pay you to teach? That's something different. Why do I have to give all of this in order for you to teach? And a lot of these folk ain't scared. That's the only thing you should be seeing right now is the Most High. Because he can destroy the body and the soul. Man can only destroy the body. I'm telling you guys, go read Deuteronomy 18. Go read Deuteronomy 18, chapter 20. I mean, verse 20 and 23. And it tells you the way you will know that a real prophet was amongst you is because the thing that they prophesied is going to come to pass. Y'all haven't really ever heard me profess that I'm a prophet. But there's been several things that I told you was going to happen, and you watched it come to pass. Told you watch the water, and then everybody starts talking about it. I told you to watch the weather, that it was going to come a time that you were going to have to run from the weather. Now we find that CERN is making snow that's not real. They got chemicals in it. Rain that's not real. They got chemicals in it. Wind. Didn't I tell y'all? And I'm going to tell you this. Everybody, man, woman, or child, that is running around misusing the Most High people, running around misusing the Most High people, stealing money from all types of stuff, you're going to die. Do you know how many people just looking for the Most High? They just want to get close to the Most High. They just want to know God. And they come to a person who they thought was God, and lie, steal, and rob. Some of these organizations, some of these people don't have food, but they can't go to the church. And if they do go to the church, they got to do a whole preliminary on why they need help and how they need help and where their money was going. You got people living in homeless shelters. I know brothers that was in an organization that was homeless, staying in the church because all of the funds was going to the church. You don't think you're going to pay for that? You're going to pay the price. You're going to answer for that. You're taking the word of the Most High and prosecute. Hey, if you don't do it like this, and this is what's going to happen. And if you do it like that, and that, and if you don't do what I say, and da 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 da. And da da. No, the devil is a liar. Listen, I got to work out my own soul salvation, baby. You got to work out your own soul salvation, baby. Can't no demon in hell separate you from the love of God, the Most High. The only thing that can separate you from the love of the Most High is you. So stop being tricked. Stop being beguiled. Stop being buffooned. Stop being distracted. Stop being deceived. Remember, the scripture tells you, if it's possible, the very elect will be deceived. And that's what's going on. Some of the elect, the real chosen, getting deceived along the way. Greed. Listen, as time go on, I'll continue, guys, to give you guys my story um, of being a part of these organizations and some of the things that happen. But I'm so grateful when y'all hear me speak and y'all see me talk, or for those that may have seen me give praise, or for those that may see me worship. It's all genuine. It's all genuine. I really love the Most High. I love the Most High with everything, every fiber of my being. So why can't I love the Most High without a whole bunch of extra stuff? Why can't I serve the Most High without a whole bunch of extra stuff? All of the extra rules, all of the extra mandates, all of the extra. And you know, it's a sad thing because the church at one point was supposed to be a spiritual hospital. You were supposed to be able to go in there, get your healing, and go about your business. That ain't how it is, man. That's not how it is. That's not how it is. You got to be there on a certain time. And if you don't get there on that certain time, then you're getting in trouble. And you got to do it this way. You got to stand up backwards, and you got to turn around 3 times, and you got to throw the rag behind you, and you got to clap real hard, and you got to, yeah, you got to do all of these things. I don't agree. I need to love the Lord, my heart, my soul. First thing these organizations want to say, you left the organization, you done left Christ. The devil is a liar. If anything, I've learned Christ. The scripture tells you to stay away from the appearance of man. I could go around in these organizations and read all of them, and I said what I said. I can go around these organizations and spiritually dissect all of you. And this was a problem. I was afraid. A lot of leaders was afraid of me because they can see my aura. But when I would come around, it's like, you know, I had sisters the same way. I didn't want to say certain things around me. I never profess to think that I'm all the way, I'm on a level so much so that I'm on, nah, because I fall short every day. Every day I fall short from some perspective or another. But guess what, y'all? I get up, I dust myself off, ouch, and I keep running. I'm still in the race. Because you got to remember, this race wasn't given to the swift nor the strong, but to the one that endured to the end. So as long as I endure and I stay in the race, I'm good. I got deceived along the way, beguiled along the way. But that's why I used to tell y'all, even on TikTok, don't be so quick to run, have nobody tell you what you got going on, or you need somebody to read you, or you need your pastor to give you a word, or you need your priest to speak, or you need to run to a DVD all of this external stuff. What's inside of you? What's inside of you? Half of you, excuse me, half of you don't even know. These organizations ain't telling you to protect your credit. They ain't showing you how to build your credit. They ain't showing you how to, and it ain't all about riches. Let's not get it twisted. But why would you in an organization that's supposed to be helping you better yourself, but yet and still you don't know the first thing about paying bills, or you don't know the first thing about saving your money, or you don't know the first thing about, whatever the case may be. But these organizations ain't teaching. But the reason I'm talking to y'all is because you can't use that as an excuse. Oh well, I wasn't taught nothing, man. They just ain't teach me nothing, man. They ain't teach. No, what did you learn? You so quick to talk about the teacher. What did you learn internally? Internally. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist. Some of these organizations making y'all trifling as hell. Some of you are trifling as hell from your organization. Trifling. Make it mad. Make it mad. Because the math ain't mathing. So again, like I said, to each his own. You can do what you will with what's yours. You know what I'm saying? But you can't sit back and blame nobody else for your lack of or for having too much. You can't. That's nobody's fault. The things that I don't have right now is my fault. No, but we be quick. The black man. It's the white man. It's the black man, the white man fault. No, man, it's your fault. Because it all goes back to what? A choice, a decision. So again, us being mindful about decisions is what causes us all types of division. We make all types of decisions and then wonder why certain things don't go right and then want to blame everybody else. I ain't blaming nobody for shit that I didn't do. I ain't blaming nobody for shit that I did overly done. No, I'm not. So again, I came on this live, y'all, just to really just you know, um, link up with a few of y'all, and beautiful rising, baby, beautiful rising. To link up with a few of y'all, and see which way the live go and things of that nature, and a few of y'all jump straight on, and I'm grateful y'all following me over here on YouTube, and we're gonna make YouTube do what it do. But I'm here to say now, and this is just what it is. When I go live, I don't care if it's nobody on the live. I'm gonna talk to the live as if I'm gonna talk on the live as if I'm talking to thousands. Because why? You can always go back to the live. I did a live yesterday. You can always go back to it on YouTube and rewatch it. And remember, let me say this. I don't profess to think I know everything. But the things that I know, I'm standing 10 toes down. Period. Pooh. Like, seriously. Because I learned down through the years what? That a hard head makes a soft ass. So the stuff that I got, I want to share. You can do what you want to do with it. It ain't my business. You can take this information and cuss me out behind my back. I would make me no never mind because it's real. Your grandmother is a wise individual. It's just real. Cause what you eat don't make me shit, and what I eat ain't gonna make you shit. But when I give you the information, if your spirit don't resonate with it, keep moving. But if your spirit resonate with it, you need to be doing what you need to do to make the necessary changes. I think I'm gonna say this, y'all. I think what bothers me the most is that and this is just some real shit. Like when it comes back to the religion piece, religion versus spirituality. I just think religion had a lot of us messed up. God had a lot of us messed up, man. Had a lot of us messed up, man. Like a lot of us messed up, man. Like not even knowing like what we really have the power and authority to do. No mentors, nobody really talking to you about what you should do and or how you should make, some investments, and ain't nobody talking to you about how you should, save your money or where you should invest your money or how to even get money. Ain't nobody talking to you about, for the sisters, the women, how to keep your house clean and things like that. And granted, my house ain't the cleanest, but my house ain't dirty. I'm gonna make sure it's organized to the point where I can maintain in it. But I wouldn't suggest nobody come and try to eat off of my floors. But even down with the younger generations and the sisters, y'all in these organizations, ain't nobody teaching you how to keep your house clean. Ain't nobody teach. I feel bad for some of you sisters who got babies and you ain't nobody teaching you. You raising your babies by yourself. You struggling. You got Pampers everywhere. You got shitty Pampers all over the place, and you got stuff going on, and nobody really there to help you, mentor you through the process. That shit take work. That shit take work. But the point is, where's all the people? Where's everybody? Where's all the mentors? I had two spiritual mothers, and they did not play with me. They did not play with me. And I'm grateful for them. But you got guys out here, ain't nobody mentoring nobody. Ain't nobody telling nobody, bro, you need to pull your pants up, man. Bro, put a belt on, man. Bro, bro, put the guns down. Bro, ain't nobody doing none of that. And it's a sad situation, and we see what we creating, you know? We see what we creating, but we gotta be mindful, y'all. There's so much more to life out here than this little bit of life we see. That's why I told my husband, like, I gotta hurry up and get from where I'm at right now. Because I don't give a damn what you say or how you say it. You are a product of your environment. If you living in a neighborhood where it's the hood and everything you around you see is hood, nigga, you gonna have some hood mentality, and I don't give a damn who you are. But if you live in somewhere where it look nice, you come outside and it look like you in the suburbs, it just look a certain, man, you gonna tell me your vibration is gonna be different unless you just a fucked up individual. Your vibration gonna be different. So it's time for me to get away from where I'm at, man. I'm getting older. My kids is grown. It's time for me to get somewhere where I can really chill. I would love to be down there where the 9.2 acres at, you know, but it's time to really be somewhere and chill. I did my part. Like I worked, I put in the pot. You know what I'm saying? I took in my kids, I put in the pot. I try to maintain a roof over their head always. I put in the pot. And now it's time to chill. I ain't looking to take care of no babies. I ain't looking to take care. No, I'm not looking to be a full-time mother again. I did that. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get somewhere and chill. Go fishing and shit. Even if I don't eat the damn fish. But lay back. Go see some shit. Everything I see around here in the hood, all the houses crammed on top of each other. We all on top of each other. We got a half a house over here. crammed up on time. I'm tired of it. And I don't give a damn who you are or where you are. You are a product of your environment. Period. When you walk around out here where I'm at, all you see is niggas out everywhere. All you see is niggas on the corner, on every corner damn near. Why? Because they're a product of their environment. Nobody should want to be a part of this type of shit. Nobody. If you're in your right mind. Like, I mean, that's just for me, though. Everybody not there. I'm not expecting all of y'all to be there. That's just for me. But the things that I'm sharing is worth looking at. Like, we got to do things differently. Let me just explain to you what insanity is. Insanity is doing the same thing every day, but you're expecting a different result. That's fucking insanity. So me getting up every day, going outside, but I'm expecting this to look like the suburbs when I step outside. Bullshit. That means I'm insane, nigga. I have insane behavior. That's insanity. You don't do the same things and look for something different to happen. I mean, do the same things and you expect something different to happen, and you doing the same things. Don't work like that. Don't work like that. You think money just gonna fall out the sky? It ain't. But you can manifest it. But you're not gonna look up and literally see bills falling out the sky. So, listen. Do the best you can do. Be an upright, standing citizen. Love. Love covers a multitude, y'all. Love. Genuine love. Take care of your children. If you got children. And do the right thing. Sorry. Do the right thing. All that partying, hanging. Shalom, shalom, shalom. How are you? I really would like to talk to the ex-sisters of the ICGJC. If any ever come through, any of y'all ever come through here, I would like to have a conversation. But y'all, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. We be expecting all this stuff to happen, all these things to take place, but you're not properly aligned. And if you're not aligned properly, how you expect to get the things that you talking about you want? And you're not aligned. You missing all your blissfulness. All the things that the Most High wants you to have, you missing it. Because you're not aligned. How you know you're not aligned? Because shit's going to be happening to you, not for you. Me coming up off of TikTok threw my alignment off. So over the last 2 weeks, I've been having things happen to me, not for me. But now that I'm aligning myself, again, realigning, I'm going to run. I'm going to take off running, y'all. Y'all going to see it too. Watch. Y'all going to see it. I'm going to take, thank you, baby, thank you. I'm going to take off running, and y'all going to see it. Y'all thought I was something else over there on TikTok. Watch how I operate on YouTube. Watch. Watch how the numbers change. With the help of y'all sharing my content, if you're able to share my lives or if you're able to share my content, I'm going to go through my YouTube page, and I'm about to delete a lot of that content. So a lot of that older content that you see on my YouTube, I'm going to delete it. But my newer content, the newer content, it's going to be content again, just like this. I ain't pulling no punches. I don't have no cut cards. I don't got time to be playing because guess what? If the Spirit of the Most High told me to say something to you or told me to say something to the collective and I choose not to say what I'm supposed to say to the collective and something happened to you because I didn't say what I was supposed to say to the collective, then your blood is going to be on my hands even though I don't know you. That's why I tell y'all take care of your babies. Take care of your babies. That blood going to be on your hands. It's going to be on your hands. So whether y'all like what I'm saying or whether you don't like what I'm saying, it makes me no difference. I'm not here to pacify. I'm not here to pacify. I'm not coming on YouTube pacifying like I was pacifying on TikTok. I'm not pacifying over here. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna say what I mean and mean what I say, and that's gonna be it. And that's gonna be all. What you do with it will not be my business. But a lot of you that's running behind religion and you don't know your ass from your face right now, you don't know if you coming or you going, you need to take a step back for a minute and reevaluate your life. Get a plan, reevaluate your life. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm reevaluating, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with reevaluating. Ain't no shame in reevaluating. It's when you stuck and you stagnated and you're not doing nothing is the problem. Reevaluate. I'm reevaluating right now and I'm putting things into other perspectives right now. You heard me. You heard me. So reevaluate, man. Find out what your next set of instructions are. Find out what you're supposed to be doing next. Because all the rest of that other shit ain't doing shit for you. It ain't doing nothing for you. I don't give a damn what you say. It ain't doing nothing for you. It ain't doing nothing for you. It's not doing nothing. Thank you, babe. It's not. It's taken away from you. It's taken away from you. Taken away from you. Got a little upset with my daughter today, my baby girl. And I'm gonna get off this live. I've been on the live 2 almost an hour and some change now, 92 minutes. But I got a little upset with my baby girl today because I haven't seen my grandson, my baby grandson, in almost 40 days or so, something like that, a little more. I ain't seen my grandson, and it's because his father is really involved right now. Now, one side of me wanted me to really get an attitude about that. I wanted to be in my feelings, like, be in your feelings because you ain't seen your grandson. But then when I looked at it from another perspective, his father is doing what he's supposed to do, man. His father is doing what he's supposed to do. His father watch him while my daughter go to school, go to work, and that's a beautiful thing. I can't get mad at that. I can't get mad. So tomorrow I'm gonna go see my grandson. Take a few minutes, even if it ain't nothing, 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna go see him. But I can't get mad because his father is taking care of him. His father's in his life. His father's an intricate father. His father just taught him how to poop on the pot. My daughter ain't teach that. His father taught him that. So I gotta sit back and reevaluate. Like, you being selfish now, girl. I had to tell myself, like, I'm being selfish now. I gotta let what needs to be. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things I was crying for in the beginning was that he be a father to his son. Like, I cried to my daughter about that. I hope he be, because in the beginning he wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't. I mean, he was buying little stuff here and there, but he wasn't putting no time in. But now my grandson stay with him 3 days a week. That's a beautiful thing. That wasn't going on. You know what I'm saying? And he stay home 4 days a week, and he go he come pick my daughter up, take her to work, and keep his son, and that's just a beautiful thing. So I gotta fall back. My point for saying that is I gotta fall back, and it's a little hurtful, that I hadn't gotten a chance to see him, but I gotta fall back because he's not my child. He's my grandson, and I got let well enough be. You know what I'm saying? And be grateful that I'm able to see them when I can see them, and I'm able to be a part of their life when I can be a part of their life. But I'm confessing right now because I was in my feelings. I was in my feelings, and I'm confessing because it ain't it's not fair for me to be in my feelings all because his father wants to be really involved in his life. It's not fair for me to be in my feelings, y'all. So I'm woman enough to admit that, and I'm going to fall back, and I'm going to get in where I fit in. Ain't no whole lot to it. But the rest of the grandkids come over every other weekend. And for the last 3 weekends that the other kids been coming, he ain't made it. And it made me feel some kind of way. But it's okay. Confession is good. I take time to confess my faults and confess my wrongs because, y'all, ultimately, I want to be right. Ultimately, I want to be right. I want to be a decent individual. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be full of lies and full of madness and full of isms and schisms. I don't want to be a hurtful individual. I just want to be an upright, decent individual. That's it. One of my most popular tasks that I had, well, my gift or talent that I had initially was to raise my 5 children. I had 5 children. 5 children, and I was a single parent for the most part. I had 5 children, and I had 4 fathers. I ain't afraid to, I ain't ashamed to talk about that. Ain't nothing you can say to make me feel no kind of way. I had 5 kids and I had 4 fathers. But that's because of the bullshit that wasn't taught. And I didn't learn nothing from the bullshit that I should have been when I should have been learning. I ain't have no mentors and things. Everything I learned, I mean, I had 2 spiritual mothers, but I'm talking about like my parents. I ain't had that. I had to learn from the streets. The things that I learned is how I learned. The way I learned to maintain was how I learned to maintain. That's why I get so pissed off at some of y'all, y'all treat y'all mothers like dirt and treat your fathers like dirt. And here you also all you really had was your mother and your father. You know what I'm saying? Here I'm one. I ain't have neither one. I ain't have neither one of my parents. Neither one. And I was the only child. I ain't had no siblings. And some of y'all just is trifling. Just is trifling with the way that you deal with your parents. And you expect things to be falling in your lap. It ain't happening like that, cat. Just think about how you would feel if it was your children, and how you would want your children to deal with you. Just because my mother didn't raise me, did that give me a right to disrespect her? Just because my mother wasn't in my life, was that a right to disrespect her? Just because my father was in and out of prison, was that a right to disrespect him? No. Did I have my feelings about them? I absolutely did. Trifling. Trifling. I could never call my mother and say, Ma, can you help me with $5? Ma, can you help me with $20? Ma, can you help me with a bill? Ma, can you help me with this? Never, ever. You heard what I said? I could never call my father. Last thing my father bought me was a fur coat. But I could never call my father, Dad, I need this, or Dad, can you help me out? Never. And some of your trifling asses got access to that. And you, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It don't make sense to me. The math don't math to me. I just don't. I don't really have no respect for, and like I told y'all, this YouTube gonna be raw and rugged. I don't really have no respect for people that don't take care of their kids. I don't have respect for people that don't honor their parents. I don't have no respect for you. I don't have no fucking love for you, and I don't have no respect for you. Period. Period. So the way that my mother dealt with me, did I take care of her? Yeah, but it was just like yo, you wondering why you suffering and why you struggling right now. And I used to share that with my mother on the low, crying. Like, Ma, maybe if you just dealt with me a little differently, things would be a little differently. My mother was strung out on drugs, started off on small drugs, and didn't think that shit was going to gravitate till she ended up being strung out. And yeah, I was a pothead. I was a pothead coming up. But I ain't put weed before my kids. I didn't take money and go buy weed and they don't have nothing to eat because I decided to buy weed. Or they don't have a roof over their head because I decided to buy weed. No, 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 no. I said no. I said no. I had no respect for that. Like I said, I love my mother and I respect her to a certain extent, but the fact that you only had one child and you couldn't even take care of your one child fucked me up. It messed me all the way up around the board. You was given one job. The Most High gave you one assignment, and that was me. One. And you failed at it. And my mother is no longer here. But while she was here, she was suffering. struggling, can't get it right to save her life, in and out of rehab, trying to get her. And I was always there, yearning her attention. Yearning. Kids don't know no different. They just be yearning there. I'm just yearning my mother attention. It was so bad that I used to take one of her shirts when I was small, and I used to sleep with her shirts and hold her shirts and cry over them and then smell them, and because I yearned my mother. Like, I don't have respect for y'all that don't take care of your kids. I don't have respect for it because I had five and no husband at the time. I don't have respect for it. Exactly. Exactly. And it could be because of the way that I was treated, or the lack thereof. It could be because I was one that lacked having my parents. I didn't have my parents. I lacked it. So that could be why I have not anger, because it's not anger, but it's more passion. I think that's why I struggle with that, man. I ain't gonna lie, I was in social service one day. This is probably about 15, 16 years ago. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. And I seen a mother smack her son across the floor. We was in social services. She smacked that boy across the floor, and ain't nobody say nothing except me. And then when I said something, everybody else says, I called protective services on her ass and everything. Don't play with me. And I ain't know her from a can of paint. I called protective services right in social services on her ass. Because that baby ain't asked to be here. That little boy ain't asked to be here for you to slap him all the way across the goddamn room. That baby was probably about 3 years old, y'all. He was about 3 years old. And I stayed there to protective services got there and everything. Did I? She was in there cussing and fussing. Bitch, y'all need you, bitch, you need to mind your motherfucking business and blah, 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 blah. And I didn't. And I didn't mind my business. Because it takes a village to raise a child. And I feel like children are all of our business. I wish somebody else would have felt like that as I was coming up. That kids is all of our business. But it wasn't. And I was in a household where it was cruel. I was in a household with a grandmother, a aunt, three cousins, and my three cousins, both of their mothers was there. One of them was my mother's sister, my cousin Tavon's mother. She was in the household. My cousin Soter, my cousin Freeney, their mother was in the household, which was my great aunt. Only wasn't one in the household was my mother. And you know how cruel kids can be. We used to sit at the table when we in the dining room at the table and stuff, and we used to get to cracking and roasting each other. And that's what they used to come for all the time, my mother and my father. That's why you don't know where your mother at. That's why you ain't seen your mother. Shit like that. That shit made me rough. So I got a real thick, thin layer of skin when it pertains to shit like that. I don't like that kind of shit, man. I don't like to see kids mistreated. I don't like to even think that a child is being touched or molested, or I don't like that type of stuff. And I'll call protective service on your ass. You think I won't when I will? Yup, I will. I will. I will. Yup. I don't like it. I guess it got something to do with the way that I was raised, y'all. But I be having to fall back when it pertains to my children sometimes, when it pertains to their children. Because I had to realize they not my children, that they my grandchildren. They not my children. So I can't dictate to my daughters what they do to their kids and how they do. I can't dictate. But I'm going to say what I got to say. And if you don't like it, that's your business. What you do with it is your business. But it ain't going to be recorded. The Most High won't say that I didn't do my part as a parent and say what I was supposed to say. I wish I had that coming up. But, my family gave me the best that they could give me. I turned out pretty okay, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? I turned out pretty okay. But let me tell y'all something, just getting real with it. It comes from the shadow work, man. I had to do a lot of shadow work, y'all. I cried a lot, y'all. When my kids was coming up, I cried a lot, man. I cried a lot. I did a lot of crying, man. Like I did, man. I did. I did a lot of crying, and I cried and I did the best I could, man. I cried and I did the best I could, man. You know, but man, if I like I said all the time, if I could go back and shift some stuff around, I would do things a little bit differently with my kids. I absolutely would because I know some different things. So I would do things a little different, you know. But you know, I definitely need to feel like reason is listen. This thing that we call life is real. This thing that we call life is real, and we got to make the best out of it. We got to do the best that we can. You know, just don't be sorry. Don't be trifling. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trifling. If you can help being trifling, help it. You know, if you can help being trifling. You don't want it on your record that you was just a trifling sister. You was just trifling. You running and letting the kids run around snotty nose. The kids barely eating. They got colds and shit, and ain't nothing going on because you being trifling. So as you so caught up in a relationship, or you so caught up in yourself. Don't, man. Don't, don't. It's a very big deal. But like I said, we do a lot of things because of the things that we were taught. Whether we were taught from people, or whether we were taught from books, or whether we were taught from places, whatever. A lot of times, the choices and the decisions we make are only based upon what we were taught, and a lot of the stuff that we were taught was incorrect. You know, a lot of the stuff we were taught was incorrect. But look, I'm gonna jump off this live, y'all. Y'all, please thank y'all for. I thank y'all for you take go share my last live with somebody. I'm gonna get off of here though, and I'm gonna jump back on here. I'm gonna go back live about 4:30, and I'm gonna stay live till 6. So I'm gonna go live from about 4:30 to 6. You know, y'all jump back on the live if you can. Tell a friend. If you got people that you know that used to be on my TikTok live, send them on over here, man. Send them on over here. But thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for indulging me. Thank you for listening to my story. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm gone.